Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. Today we're gonna go over flipping. You know, right now, in the last year, probably has been one of the hottest topics. Flip here, flip there. It's in all the channels. It's everywhere. And there's a lot of, you know, that's true. Everything that they say, everything that is on all those seminars is true. It works. To me, is my niche that has been keeping me busy, has kept me busy for the past, how long?
15 years.
15 years, you know, and there's a couple things that I like about flipping. Mainly is about numbers. You know, it's when you bring it to an investor, it comes strictly to numbers. If the numbers make sense, that's it. You know, there's no emotions. Oh, I don't like the kitchen. You know, I don't like the area. I don't like. You know, it comes down strictly to numbers. Now, the hardest thing in flipping is finding the property. You make the money when you find the property. Not when you rehab it, not because the colors you choose, not because of the carpet, the paint, cabinets, none of that matter. At the end of the day, is you have to buy it right. Now, right now we have, in the past, what would you say, now the past 7, 8 years, probably the most competitive we ever seen it?
Yeah. Well, after the crash and then it started improving, seems like all the investors come out of the woodwork.
Yeah. What do you say, Duke?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Duke, you know, he's very modest, as you guys know, but anyways, right now I'm going to go over a live, I'm going to go in the MLS and I'm going to show you some deals that they're still out there. And just, I'm going to give you the disclaimer. Probably the MLS is the hardest way that you're going to find a property right now. But I just want to give you an example that they're still out there, but you have to know, you need to know how to go out and get them. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now that is working and getting these deals. The best way right now is where there's less competition. You know, for example, we have over the years, it's been 15 years that I've been doing it, so I have several people out there looking for properties that are not on the market. And these are agents that specifically go ahead and send marketing to distressed homeowners. So that way I don't have the competition. Now, when I analyze a deal, there's so many ways to analyze a deal. If everybody got a handout, this is my favorite way to analyze a deal. Why? Because it's very simple and it goes right down to, you know, right down to the point. Very, very, very basic. Some investors, they're going to start looking into percentages. Oh, I want to know my ROI. I want to know my return on investment. I want to know, you know, a lot of different numbers. And you could do that too. So that's why in here also in the handout, I put some of the terminology that people like to use. But at the end of the day, the simpler, to me, what worked always is the simpler, you know, and something that I could get to right away. This one, Daryl designed this worksheet. It's an Excel format, and the reason we did it that way, Daryl, was to be able to identify a transaction within 5 minutes. Like you plug in the numbers, and right away you know yes or no. It's very simple. I want to go over it real quick, and I want to analyze this property. This one is currently in the market. I have a property out there. I mean, I have an offer out there, and they receive about 10, 15 offers, and they're going to counter 2. Mine is one of them. And I just recently spoke to the agent and said, hey, you know, we're gonna give you the response today. So this is in Wilmington. Now, when you come to us with this filled out, and I want to fill this out with you guys right now, so you guys know what we're looking at, what we look for as an investor. When you bring us a property, because sometimes I get a property, so, there's a great deal. Then I looked at it and my comp says I could only sell it 50,000 more than what, they're offering. Obviously, it's not a deal for me. So, let me go back into the, okay, so this is an active property. It's in 1049 Lagoon Avenue in Wilmington. The asking price is $350,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,568 square feet. And again, just attention, all investors, cash only sale. It needs a lot of work. So, all right. So everybody has this sheet out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the first thing that I do before I even fill one of this sheet out, what's the first thing that we do when we see a property that it makes sense that
How much can we sell it for?
comps. We go for the comps. So this particular property, I already run the comps. I go 6 months. And these are the comps. I'm gonna pass it around. It's around 475,000 after he's been rehab. So what that means, just along with, I need to have at least 3 of them, at least 3 around those numbers to know that I'm not gonna have a problem on the other side. So on this sheet out, if you guys want to learn how to do it, I just put in the projected sales price. And I like to do things hands-on because that's usually how I learn, and I hope it'll help you guys out. It's a 465. So my resale value, I'm looking at 465. Now I created some very simple formulas, nothing complicated. I offer 345,000 for it. At that, see, I already know that, but once you put it in place, you're gonna see the numbers make sense. So if you go to this sheet and you put on the projected sales price, put 465,000. Now on the bid amount, put 345.
So you don't go full price?
No. No, because I already, and guys, the most important thing about this is not how you write it. I mean, I could have worked 465, but the most important thing is get to know the agent, get to talk to the agent, get to see what are their motivations. Because that's what's gonna make you difference between, every good property like this, I guarantee you they told me they got over 10 offers. And who knows, it could have got more, it could have got a little bit less, but I know for a fact that they're gonna have a lot of competition. So how do you come in and make yourself different from the other people? That's the most important thing. How the communication that you get with the other agent. Same with the sellers, you have to know what are their motivation, talk to them like you know what you're doing, that you know exactly, and give them peace of mind that you're not gonna change, in the middle of the transaction. So buying cost, I usually keep it very simple, just 1% of the bid amount. This is escrow, title, just the small tax fees. So 1% is $34.50. Repair costs, I already went to look at the property. This particular property needs everything. It don't need flooring, cabinets. I mean, and this is our typical property. They're gonna give it to us vacant, but they might leave a lot of stuff behind. You know, right now we have one with Daryl that he's working on right now. And they left so much stuff at the property that, how many, you have to fill out two?
Two of the 40-yard.
Oh, quick complaining,
Dumpsters?
that's only two.
Two
Yeah.
containers?
Two containers.
Two containers full.
Try 5.
Yeah, I tried 7, the one house I bought.
So,
But that's a
you
lot,
know,
2 is a lot.
so that's very common.
They're not
And
packing it right, Daryl. Fit it all in one. Gotta pack it right.
so, you know, one of the things that I think is set me apart and for these people to even consider my offer is, when I was there were other agents. And a lot of the agents, they were asking, well, you know, is this permitted?
Yeah, that's right.
You know what, I don't like this, I don't like that.
Picky.
So really picky, and then, right away they start,
Next.
Next.
So, and I go, you know what,
Everything's
this is
fine.
typical what we do, yeah. What's going on with the tenant, do they need any help on getting them out? Being, learning of the situation, the bathroom, okay, we just need to redo, nothing that we haven't done, approach it like, okay, this is what we do, and there's no problem. Give him peace of mind. The other agent was, well, how come you don't have the permits for this and that? And, right away, when you start going like that, you're out the door. So that's why I said the most important thing is come in, give them peace of mind that you're gonna take care of it. And it's not gonna be an issue. Repair costs, I put in 41,230.
How much?
41,230. Selling commission 5%, so it's 5% out of the 465,000. That's 23,250. Because remember, if you bring me a property, I want to get to the nitty gritty right away. So if you do your work and you package your property properly, you'll be able to know right away. If you just bring me, this is a property, is a great deal. Okay, I'm still going to do the work, but what does that tell me about you as an agent? He doesn't know what he's doing. So that's why it's important to do your due diligence. And this is a great way to make money, guys. And I could attest to that. That's my niche, and that's what I've been doing for the past 17 years. And every time it changes, sometimes it's a little harder, a little easier, but it always changes. It never stays the same. Right now,
Yeah.
you have to change with the times, Selling costs 1%. Again, I use simple number. And again, this is just to analyze the property. Okay, yes or no. So just 1% of the selling price. Now, right now, in a lot of the properties, the way I'm getting a lot of properties, I have different agents out there looking for deals. So right now, we get deals that people come in and say, a finder fee. People look for finder's fee, and which is fine. That when the competition gets tough, there's less, so that means basic rules, supply and demand. So that's something that we're dealing a lot with nowadays. Some of the agents that are out scouting for properties, they want a finder's fee, which, is part, before 5 years, 6 years ago, we didn't have the problem, right, Daryl? There was no such thing as finder's fee. But as the property gets tight,
If this agent finds a property, do they get a chance to put an offer on your behalf, or is that just the finder's fee and you take care of the whole thing?
the agents that I have, I've been working with them for several years, and all of them, they already have my articles of the corporation, and they have the proof of funds. If they don't have updated proof of funds, they call me and I give them the updated proof of funds. Now, there's only one agent out there that I let him make offers within his discretion because he knows my criteria. It's like Daryl with me, like, you know, when there's a property, he relies on me on putting the deal together because of the track record that we have. How many properties do you think you flipped over the past few years that we've been working together?
Probably around 100, probably.
About 100 properties, so.
That's a good amount, man.
So that's why when it comes to, you know, figuring out the price, he relies on my expertise and he's okay with it. Obviously he knows that at the end of the day, I'm gonna come in and show him our checklist. It's like a flight list. You know, we don't go into escrow unless, okay, the price, check, repairs, check, you know, we got our numbers in place. And, but this is a great way to get to it really quickly. So on this particular property, I figure about $45,000, give or take. And the reason I say that because the repairs might move up, might move down. There's a lot of, so that's why you want to have. We're looking around $40,000 projected profit on a property like this, because things could go wrong. You know, and this one is, another thing is that I'm doing this, these numbers are going based on cash purchase. If we were doing hard money loan, you have to use about another $10,000 to $15,000 on fees and holding costs. Now, it's not a bad thing because you pretty much have a partner to bring in the money. So it's just the cost of business. So on a typical property like this, when it's all cash, we're looking around 40 because it might move up or down. You know, there's so many variables, and a seasoned investor will let you know that, and that will have the scars to prove it. You know, Daryl, Duke, that's what we do every day. We work on these flips.
One more
So, yes,
One more question. So you're projecting the profit to be around 40,000
right,
minus your basically income tax or capital gain, or how do you call that? At the end of the day, you have to pay taxes on that money?
right, right. But that question is more to your CPA. I don't know your tax status, and I'm not an expert on that field, so. But yeah, but this, I'm just talking basic profit and loss on the purchase of the property. So, what to do to get properties? The MLS, all of us have access for it. Right now, probably the only thing that I can tell you about the MLS is a great training tool. Now, if you really want to get those properties, you have to go outside there where there's no competition. Because right here, you know, any property like this, on top of all the offers that they get a lot of investors going directly to them. Hey, represent me. You know, I want to buy it. So the competition is very, very hard right now. So the best, one thing that I would do, you know, when, I don't know if you know, sometimes you driving by, you see a property that is all beat up, is vacant, get the information, get your title, hey, what's going on with that property? And reach out directly to the owner. You know, letters, trying to figure out, that's the only way, or people that you know, like, you know, agents that specialize in this type of niche market, the properties that are off the market, that's where you're gonna really look and find, that's where you're really gonna find the good deals. Other than that, I'm not saying we still buy properties off the MLS, you know, but the work that you put into it and the ratio of the offers that you have to write in order to get one is very tight. And it's probably the tightest that we've seen it in the last 10 years, I think, right now. And why? Because property is up. You know, you're an agent, you're representing your seller, you want the best for your seller. Very, very basic, it's basics, like, okay, you
Basic
know,
premise.
I want the best for my seller, for my client. So, that's one thing that works. But I gotta tell, there's deals out there. There's deals being done every single day on flips. The only difference is the people that has the knowledge, knows where to look for the transactions, are gonna get them done. I love them because it's, you know, it's a great tool for me. Final deal, it's a listing coming up 3 to 5 months from now. You know, it keeps my business rolling. And it's very, it just has to do with math. Basic math. I mean, numbers make sense, boom. Right now, Duke, I think, has a deal that this one is pretty much done, guys. He already put in the offer and it's gonna solve this week. But Duke has a property that is off market right now. Right, Duke?
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about the deal? So this is how it works, guys. The off-market properties.
Do you want me to do it now? Because it's follow after what he's gonna teach you about, let's say.
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead, Duke. Go ahead, Duke. You got the.
Well, Carl's gonna talk to you about wholesaling and stuff, how you
Right.
guys make your money. So this is part of the wholesaling, you know, tying up property and everything else. I have a property in San
Jacinto. San Jacinto.
Whatever. It's almost an acre, and it's a horse property. The house is about 1,500 square feet, and then there's a section in the back of the house, which is a 3 horse stall, plus it look like a little studio with a bathroom. So it look like for the, you know, whoever live there that take care of the stable and stuff. But anyways, I have a lot under contract right now. The comps, I put a low comps on it. This house next door was really beautiful. They same size lot, they built it, but it's they just sold it for $790. Anyways, this is the same lot, but the house is decent. It needs some upgrading. It's got a swimming pool that the city has a fine on it, and I'm trying to clear that out right now. This is a short sale. I've been working for about 7 months. But all the pumps and everything got stolen. So, but anyway, the rehab on it, inside's not bad. You need kitchen remodeling, you need just your typical, like you said, there's not much trash, but big lot. The wholesale price on it is $200,500, so $205 basically. Rehab, we estimated about $30,000. Shouldn't be more than that. Pool pumps and those are pretty cheap. Nothing wrong with the pool itself.
How much is the rehab?
About $30,000. With escrow fees and everything else, and selling the property, if you're gonna flip it and sell it at $289. Now the comp's from $260 to about $345. So, and if you buy it for $205 plus $30,000 on your $250, just say you're $270 down, you still have about, I estimated on $289 is the selling price. So basically, like Martin did show you guys the profit margin on it, buying at that, plus the rehab, plus escrows, and then, you know, resell and stuff like that. So you're looking at about $41,000 profit if you sell at the lower price. Now, you know, the house built in the 80s, I believe, so it's stuck close. There's no crack, there's no foundation issue. Roof is only 4 years old. It did have central roof AC, but somebody hacked it. The AC was on the report, was only like 4 years old, but, you know, because the house is vacant, but a lot of potential. Too far for me to do, but if anybody looking for a horse, I'm sure you guys should make a few bucks too. So
Is sown for a horse property?
What's that?
Is zone for?
You could have that sign.
In that area, yeah, because there's a stall and everything else back there. So I don't know what the zoning is, let's just say SFR, but we went in the city, yeah, they can have animals and horses, there's stables and stuff like that. So it's almost an acre, it's I think 40, which might be close, let me grab
That's
it.
about 40,000.
Yeah, about 40,000 square feet,
Yeah, so acre's 43,000
Yeah.
square feet.
correct.
A little bit short of
So a
it.
little
Yeah,
shorter
but
than
still,
an
yeah,
acre.
basically an acre.
But it's a nice house, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,477 square feet. So.
Now, the basic numbers, I don't know if you noticed, when we're talking about $200,000 to $300,000 investment on purchasing the property, we look about $40,000, which at the end of the day, it's end up being about 10 to 15% return on your money.
Actually, 40 grand's a little more than that.
Yeah, so, but I mean, by the end of the day, that's just projections. So, but those are the numbers that any investor is looking for right now. Like, if any investor is just saying, hey, you know, via real estate, you know, you can make 10% on your money and do it twice in a year, that's a really good vehicle to go in. Duke does $1 million projects. I mean, you've seen some of his, he makes beautiful properties, but when you go into that track, your numbers have to be a lot better. You know, right now he has a listing for $2 million. What is your projected price, the profit that you're gonna have on Venice?
Well, you know, if we get to 2.1, my projected price is 350 grand. So
350 grand
but it's a longer
profit.
project and a longer, time frame, and also huge expenses. So we talk about. I like these. I was actually told Martine, I wouldn't build 4 big property to all over $2 million. And we got one right now. It's an escrow for $1 million. But I enjoyed it when I did this small one. Martine was selling like 5, 6 a month on my property. You know, so I mean, last year alone, just a small, easy flip like this, I did 18. So, you know, it's.
So you're saying they're more fun, the bread and butter ones are more fun, because they're not
There's
as
been,
much
well, you
risk?
don't make much, some of them make 40, some of them make 25, some of them make 30, some of them make 60.
20.
You know, depending on the price, but if you're buying a property that is $200,000 and you make $30,000, hey, that's a great return on your money, you know? 10%, on that, what do you get, So it's not a whole lot, but so, I mean, maybe $30,000 on a $40,000 on a $200,000. Your overhead cost is cheap. You can find buyers all day long with FHA that you sell probably under 300 or mid 350. Every homes, and Daryl could confirm on this, once we finish these under $400,000 homes, it sells like that. When you finish it, it sells like that. I think the longest the longest project I had on these small homes, including construction, 4.5 months, 5 months max, including closing escrow. From buy, rehab, close escrow.
It's the smaller homes you're talking about.
Correct. So,
Yeah. And for example, Venice, he's been on the project for 2 years.
yeah, so
man.
Because he bought a house, he had to knock it down.
about a
Get
900
permits.
square feet home, and get permits, got to do soil, got to do land survey, and then put up a almost 3,000 square foot, two-story, these beach homes. So it's a lot of work, and it's time consuming. And if you look at your profit margin, really, for the money I spent on it, I could have done 20 more of these little homes and made probably more than that, without the headaches, right, Daryl?
You can do those.
Yeah.
Do the bread and butter.
Daryl's
Daryl's smart.
Daryl's smart. He said, "Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Don't take out my little property. Just leave me alone."
You go ahead and do your $1 million projects, right?
Talking about that, Martine brought it up, how to find property besides, like you see some of these homes that look like abandoned, that's the best way to do it. But what I did on it, I started out, I didn't have any leads, I didn't have anything else on it. I would pound the pavement. I was calling about 60, 70 agents a day. Martine used to see me, and some of the girls used to see me on the phone all the time. And I would set up meetings.
Yeah. I don't know if people know about how Duke was in real estate before, and then he just came back. What is it? 3 years, 4 years ago, 3 or 4?
Summer of 2014. I came in.
2014. So, and one thing that I gotta say about Duke, he came in like he knew what he wanted to do, and he went at it right away. I mean, he came and said, okay, I'm gonna go into the flipping business. And, you know, how many of us sometimes we said, okay, you know, I'm gonna go into flipping. And, you know, it just takes a while to get going. I mean, he came in and he just run with it. I mean, he runs so fast that he's doing $1 million projects now. I mean, you know, but there's definitely a curve to it, you know, but he went in full blown, and that's what he's talking about. He came in and he didn't, you know, he's been out of the entire business for maybe 10 years.
At least 10 years.
And came back, and the first year, I think we did, the first project we did, it was 115.
Yep, 115.
We did it together, you know, found a property, said, let's start with this. We did that one, and then we did another one, and then from there, you just took off. But what were you doing to get those deals? Or
you know,
you still do it?
Yeah, I still do it. I have a lot of off-market property, like he was talking about, you know, a lot. It's harder to get MLS because you're gonna have, matter of fact, I gotta be at the other property. So, but.
Is it today or tomorrow?
Today,
Oh,
at noon.
what about this?
But you know, it's a lot harder to find MLS. You can find it. You know, Martin's made his living, and Daryl made his living on this, not his real estate per se. But you know, I mean, he sells it, but it's all from all his investors that he's been find property and do that. He's making money and invest in himself. But you say you got willing to do door knocking. A lot of times, these if you don't have the experience or the knowledge, or it's a little harder with MLS. So you gotta, you know, I came in with really no experience. I just got renewed my real estate license again that I let go for many years. You know, because I was going to go back and then pound pavement. I mean, also, you know, besides doing that, I got into doing, you know, loans also for the private money for, you know, if you got, you know, 10-20% down, I can loan you private money because most people buy these things, bank won't touch it. And you have about 14 to 20 days to close escrow, and I've done a few loans for Daryl. And, you know, and even for Daryl, he still take private money loan, and it took him a while because you have to look at the comparison. Yes, it costs money for you to lend, you know, to loan these money, but did you make profit on all these and make pretty hell of a good profit too?
The
But,
profit margin better, but you also gotta find one with more.
sure, you know, like, you gotta know your spread. You know, you, like Martin said, you get something like a $300,000 and the most the highest you can sell for 380, then you're done. You know.
Yeah, and which brings me, the next Wednesday, we're gonna dive specifically into the guidelines and into hard money, and Duke is gonna come in and go over where you need to be, where's the sweet spot where a hard money lender will say, okay, here's the money to your project. And you know, that's basically is return on investment. You know, that it took us a while for Daryl to go into, before Daryl was buying everything cash.
Just also FYI, you want to get in this business, set up your fundings, beg and plead your family member. I don't care who it is, don't have any pride on it. Okay, even they give you 5,000.
Duke's the king of no pride.
I don't, because 5,000, 10,000,
Yeah.
3,000, whatever, accumulate a bunch of that to get you your 15 or 20%.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna do it. You know, just get as much money borrowed from anybody, pay them a little bit on it, you know, on stuff. That's how I got my investment. My first investor that I actually got when I first got into business gave me $10,000. That was it. You know, I went to the same investor now have 4 properties with me and invest about $1.2 million with me.
Good job, Duke.
So it's, you know, proven, you got to prove your track record. So you got to, I beg and plead for everybody. It's like, you don't have experience. You have been in real estate for 10 years. You're doing something else, you know, not, you know. So it's really, it's tough. But if you're willing to work, Dale didn't start out like that. You know, he was 15 years ago. He was selling a copier or something like that, or, you know. But he didn't make his money overnight. So he's keep at it and keep at it. But you got willing to beg and plead. I mean, Martin the same way.
Yeah,
You know.
you know, the way I did it, it was kind of different, you know, like I was in your situation, so I said, okay, the best way to learn it is
To do it.
using other people's money.
Yeah.
Now, I became a value of this investor, so, you know, I didn't do it myself, but I was there from first day when they were searching the property, rehabbing the property, and all the way to the close escrow. So I learned how to do it very good. So as soon as I put some money together, I said, okay, you know, you either go to one of your investors, you want to do it together, or you already made several commissions that you put your money away. And like Duke said, you know, just go with your family members and, hey, you know, I got this project, and, you know, you show them the numbers. Just like, you know, this is very basic. Say, look, there's this property right here. This is how much we're gonna buy it. This is how much. You know, I could get a loan. We only need to have the down payment, the holding cost, and the rehab, and, you know, there you have a profit. And I talked to the best hard money lender company, which is here, Duke Mail, and boom, you could do the deal. That's how he did it. He put a couple of investors together and hit the ground running.
When I
So
first started, I talked to like 10 different hard money companies, and they just kind of, no, you don't have experience. No, you don't have experience. No, you can't do it. No, you don't have experience. You got to do it until you find one that said yes. And then, you know, and I got partnered with them and started, you know, doing the hard money also. And kind of branching out.
What kind of equity are they looking at in the house?
Right
The
now-
spread that the hard money lenders
Well,
looking at?
right now, because the market is changing, like Martin said, you know, you gotta change the market. Back in, you know, 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, you know, we were doing like 5% of purchase price and stuff. Right now, they want 20%. There's, you know, especially if you don't have experience.
No, 20% down.
So that's very important, guys, what he just touched on, because what that says, that see, the banks, whenever they start seeing like the numbers are getting crazy, they're not as aggressive, because if there's a change in the market, you know, they don't want to be exposed on this bad loans. So that's why, you know, and you know, Daryl will tell you, you know, we always try to keep the balance of being aggressive, but at the same time being in the safe spot. And that's why, to me, it's always been very important to purchase properties that are on the low end. Like in the worst case scenario that the market flops, I'm able to hold it and rent it out. I mean, that's a huge, you know, that's always been very huge for me, and Daryl kind of followed the same system, and, you know, we've been doing really good at staying in those guidelines.
So you don't have as much exposure. If
Right.
it's bad, then you can rent it out.
And now the other numbers could be really good, but, you know, it could also work the other way around. You know, that's why Duke right now, he's pushing to sell his product this summer, you know, because, you know, timing is very important in real estate, as all you guys know about it.
What's the level of difficulty is for you to obtain the hard money, and, you know, so that way they understand, you know, with me.
Well, it's been very easy. I mean, I didn't even do anything. I just need a loan.
So that's pretty much, you know, guys, the first loan you're gonna do with me, you know, it's the first time borrow is ugliest, because, you know, I'm trying to figure out if you know what you're doing, and you try, but after that, all they'll do is like, hey, I need a loan, what's the property address, okay, and that's it.
I talked to other, checking up on Duke, I talked to other hard money people.
And you should.
They all want experience. They don't want somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, because they don't want to sit on a half-finished property.
Yeah.
So if you've got experience, they'll talk to you. If you don't, then they're gonna want all kinds of paperwork. And Duke knows me, we've known each other for several years, so I just give him the facts. I give him the facts.
Also, you know, a lot of time, Daryl, I know he checked up on me too when we first started this venture, and he should do that. A lot of teas are out there with rates and with points, with, you know, percentage, but none of them ever really pull through. And when you get down to it, oh no, you know, is that true or false? Yeah. So You know, you gotta remember people say, oh yeah, I could do this and this, and then when it comes down to it, it's like, oh no, really can't. And I just don't do that game, so I just tell you, hey, this is what I could do. If you have it, we'll do it. And then once we do pass the first one and you get proven it's easy, and you just tell me, hey, I need this one, and that's it. I don't need anything else from you. I'll get a dox in, well, I get a dox in what, about 4 days, 3 days, 4 days?
Yeah, they're really fast. So,
Yeah.
the last 2 transactions that we done with them, we're the ones that said, no, wait. Like, the first week, we gave him the deal, in a week, he got docs ready to close. We had to hold him because we weren't ready to close. So, that's how fast they're working.
He's trying to push docs on you too fast?
Yes.
Man.
So, that's the situation. So, we got he has a pretty good system right now. The next thing that I want to touch on, we touch about the local market. We got about 10 minutes. Remember flipping? As an agent, for us it's kind of difficult because, we're an agent and trying to be an investor. You could always be an investor throughout the whole country. I mean, right now, just our prices are astronomically, they're high compared to the rest of the country. There's people making money outside of the state, which what they do, they just hold contracts, and because if I'm going to buy a house in Texas, I don't want to go there and rehab it. There's ways that you could get it and assign it. So
That's
for
called
that,
wholesaling.
for that, I want to bring Carl to talk a little bit about assignment and wholesaling. But just remember, this one is mainly done outside of our local market because we don't have the price to support that. So, Carl.
Hey,
Oh,
Mike.
Mark, one question. If you really are interested in flipping, watch the shows on TV. Don't believe what they say a lot of times, but you'll see the problems they run into. Foundation, plumbing, rules, things like that. But the numbers are BS.
Hey, I heard on the radio that you could make $20,000 a month every month without any money out of the pocket. Take the 3 days off.
Go for it. Let me know how it works out.
Hey, speaking of what Daryl just said, that TV show, Flip or Flop, the guy in Orange County and his blonde wife, they filed bankruptcy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't make the
Christine
80,000.
Shriek?
Yeah, they didn't make the. I bid on a property against them, and he was pissed. And I got it because they really. I talked to him. They've been losing money on almost every show, and but TV show, you got to make it look good. If you don't make it look good, nobody's gonna watch it. Well,
Yeah, she looked pretty good, huh?
I'm sure she does.
Right, Carl.
Right, guys. Hey,
What's your name?
about some, Carl Lukey. I pronounce my last name Lucky when I buy a house and sell a house, or just when I buy a house, or when I get a commission on a house. My last name is pronounced Lucky
Whenever you
instead of
make some
Lukey.
money.
What's that?
Whenever you make money, you're happy.
Yeah, thank you. When I make money, my last name is pronounced Lucky, but it's usually Lukey. Anyway, strategies for flipping in different market conditions. Everybody knows it's easier to find deals in buyer's market, right?
Yep.
Well, according to the experts, I listen to a lot of financial radio. It's been 10 years since our last market correction. They're talking about market correction spring 2018, maybe 10, 15, could be 20%. That happens, you think it's going to be easier to find deals or harder to find deals? Raphael?
For people that are ready and have gone through it, I think it'll be a lot easier.
Thank you. It's going to be easier. So that's coming up. That's going to be 6, 7 months away. Pretty soon we're going to say Merry Christmas, Daryl. We're right there. Then next month is January 2018. So anyway, obviously in a buyer's market, it's easier to find deals in the seller's market. You can use the MLS. For foreclosure, find foreclosures, short sales, whatever, in a buyer's market. You got to analyze in a buyer's market. You consider extra holding time and further softening of the market when estimating the selling price. There's more room for negotiation. In a buyer's market, you can offer less and still get the offer accepted. You sell, you have to make the house really stand out in the crowd because it's a softer market, it's a buyer's market. So selling sometimes can be challenging. You know, you gotta price it right, staging, market the property. Those are musts. The seller's market, which of course everybody knows we've been in for how long? Long time. It's difficult. Finding homes, like Marty said, once they hit the MLS, typically it's too late. So you got to find houses different ways. Scouting for vacant properties, send out mailers to absentee owners. The one guy here, he says send out 100 mailers a day. Of course, that's going to cost you some postage and what have you, but find an area that you work. Like I've been working in North Long Beach for a lot of years, and send out absentee owners. And a lot of times they are getting tired of renting, and the price is so high right now. Just say, hey, we can sell your house for the most money possible, whatever. And I just I do a lot of door knocking. I ran into a guy that he's getting a divorce. Don't know if I'm getting a listing, but I said, man, we get your house sold for the most money ever. He says, I don't care. My ex-wife is a total B, so I don't care how much money I get, because the more money I get, she gets. So you can just give the damn thing away. And I said, you don't have to go that far, but obviously, his mindset's different. He's pretty bitter, and if he sells it for $350, even if it's worth $500, he's gonna go hee because his ex is getting less money.
That's a great lead.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes to court August 22nd. So I'm in touch with him, man, and who knows? Duke! He's gone, Duke, I need a loan! So anyway, in a seller's market, of course you buy it, house is appreciating before you even put it back in the market, right, Marty? Right, all you guys. But you don't count on it. You do your numbers conservative. You resist the urge to exceed your maximum offer because you don't want to pay too much for the house, right, Daryl?
No.
Because you make money when you buy the house and not sell it. Is that right?
Yep.
Is that right? You make money when you buy it.
You made your money when you buy it.
Yeah, not selling it. Yeah. They sold the house, made a lot of money. Now you made it. You made a lot of money because you bought the house right. So anyway. As far as the price, stay in the neighborhood norm. Well, this one's got, the greatest, whatever, design and kitchen, and I got a low water flush toilet, and, man, I should get an extra $50,000. Well, how much the toilet cost you? $300. Man, where'd you learn that math? I think you flunked kindergarten. Anyway, to sell in a seller's market, it's easier than a buyer's market. And even, this is what a lot of people do, consider listing before it's even finished. Because you get buyers that want to buy it like right away. They'll come by and look at it and go, wow, this place is great. So, assignments. I've never done any assignments, but I got interested on, well, first I'm going to go over this.
But why don't you go over because we only have 5 minutes, go over the assignment for your brother-in-law?
Oh, okay.
What
Yeah.
he's doing.
Okay,
We'll wrap it
well,
up.
assignments, yeah, we'll just go over this is finishing quick here. Assignments, you got a contract to buy a house. You buy it yourself and fix and flip or assign. So, I don't have a lot of information, I just have some information that I've got from my, he's not my brother-in-law, he's my sister's on and off again boyfriend in Illinois. My sister lives in St. Louis. Anyway, there's just so many houses there that he buys. He's not even a licensed real estate agent. He puts out the signs, you want to sell your house, I'll buy it. Houses sell back there for as low as $5,000, $50,000, $25,000, what have you. He just bought one a couple months ago for $5,000, said needed a ton of work. He found a buyer for it for $15,000, did a single closing. So that's, just one escrow. They use attorneys back there, they don't call them escrows. He made $10,000 in 7 days because he found that buyer for $15,000. They closed it. My sister's boyfriend got checked for $10,000. He paid off the seller. He paid the seller 5. Then he did that. He found another house for 25 that he found a buyer for 45, and so he got the house under contract for 25, found the buyer for 45, and then he did the closing. He got a check for 20, and then he paid the seller 25. This was all like within 2 weeks. And he does this about 50% of the time. Then the other time, he'll buy a house for, he bought a house for 40, put about 25 into it, and sold it for 80. And I halfway think about, I'm from St. Louis. I think about, man, maybe I should go back there. There's just a lot more properties, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of information. He doesn't have a whole lot of formal training. I guarantee all of us know way more than him, but he's doing great. Just because there's just so many properties there, and they're not one that investors aren't fighting over, and there's just so many more people that, back in the Midwest, I don't know, there's just a lot of for sale by owners. They hate paying a commission. They'd rather sell their house way too cheap than pay a commission, which is ignorant, I'm not saying people from the Midwest are ignorant, because, I'm from the Midwest, and I don't think I'm too ignorant. but at times, my wife will agree to that. But anyway, the deal with assignments, and could be pretty good. And I think did Duke allude to the San Jacinto house? Did he take an assignment on it, or not? Did he allude to that, or was I just hearing things?
No, he has a contract, so he could assign it. Yeah, it could happen anywhere. We're gonna wrap up the meeting. On assignments, I'm not very familiar with it as well. But I did a property in Arizona last year. I bought it for $9,000. Never sold the property.
You never saw the property?
Never saw it. So bought it, and then I hired an agent to go give me a price. He had some title issues, so I said, I'm not sure. So he was like, oh man, no wonder we get such a bad name sometimes, realtors. So now with the technology, Zillow, I went in, I put it for sale by owner. I sold it for $27,000. Never sold the property.
And you didn't put any money into it?
And didn't put any money into it. So that's the difference between, inside rehabbing or just holding the contract and buying it and selling it right away. The reason I think it worked because Zillow was giving me like $70,000, $80,000 property, but obviously needed a lot of work. But to me, it was just makes sense to go in and out.
In what time frame?
It happened in less than a month, like 40.
Man, that's pretty good. That's
30 days. So it happens. So it happens. So sometimes when you hear of a property out of state, right now with technology, we'll be able to, you could check comps, you could do everything. That's the nice thing about technology. The other thing that I recommend, and Virginia, she's always taking classes. She's always going to seminars, learning. And the knowledge that you get, once the situation come across you, you could spot the gold. They're like, oh, okay, this is a good deal. You could work on it. So I commend her for always taking education. She's always out there learning. And that's how you get to know about this deal sometimes. So, like right now I'm working on another one in Texas. I don't know if it's gonna pan out, but I'm planning to do the same thing.
How'd you find that one? How'd you get that?
It's networking. So that's the way to, the networking is the best way to get business. Referral and networking, how do you network? So, we run out of time. Thank you, Carlo, for sharing.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. Next week we're gonna have Duke come in, and he's gonna go more in depth into financing with hard money. So that means when you see a deal, he'll tell you whether it's a good deal that makes sense or it doesn't. So Next one's at 11. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
Guys.